born to hate. We're taught to hate.
MAGA apparently has the balls.
Doesn't matter.
Literally? You guys just... Oh!
I had to fucking pull over in the middle of the woods so that I can record this because somebody's gonna fucking call the cops if they hear me. This message goes out to every single person who calls himself an American. Because what the do you mean? ICE killed a man in Maine. Literally, we compete every year with New Hampshire for the safest state in the country. What do you mean? ICE is out here without cams on, killing people in the streets of our cities. For what reason? What the are we doing, Americans? Seriously, what the are they doing? They literally raided the Capitol for less reasons than this. Are we pussies? Are we pussies? We're pussies, aren't we? Because MAGA apparently has the balls to do what needs to be done, but none of us else can. So what the are we doing?
Wow, that was one of the best crash out clips I've seen in a long time. Thank you. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. So glad you could be here. Listen, we got a great show planned for you. We're going to be diving into how two people can look at the same footage and come up with completely polar opposite conclusions. It's what the left does best. They love jumping in without checking the facts because they're not really tapped into reality. So let's jump into that liberal pool of madness right now. So sit back, relax, and buckle up. We're about to enter the Lib Zone.
I am so irritated right now because what do you mean you're just gonna drag out a guy you just killed? You just killed him. You still want to drag out and handcuff him? Are you stupid? Bro, what do you mean? That guy was literally authorized to literally work here. Like, I could you not? He was able to work here. He was supposed to work here. Clearly, you guys can see it's not about legal immigration. It's clearly about racism, bro.
Clearly. It's so clear.
No matter what it is. Literally? You guys just... Oh! How do you guys have the audacity to do that? And the fact that they're getting away with murder? Like, how is that okay? Bro, that is not okay, bro. Stop. You guys are nasty. You guys are dirty. You guys are nasty pieces of shit. Like, I could you not. You guys make me sick to my stomach. And whoever supports that, like, don't even talk to me. Like, do not talk to me. If you guys support any of that, if you support ICE, if you support Trump, do not talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. You guys are also dirty.
Well, I'm not that dirty. I mean, come on. One good thing about ICE's opposition is that, well, after like 15, 20 steps, they're done. Check it out.
Look at ICE and a regular Jeep and a regular Ford Escape.
Dang, you're the Cotswolds. I can't go on. Get out of here, ICE. Get out. I need a video.
Just a second. I just went to the kitchen. And then I came back. Oh, okay. Woo, that was quite the walk. Woo.
ICE murdered another person. I don't have all the details in front of me. There's not a lot of details that I know about. I know it happened in Maine. I don't know anything about the person that lost their life. And it doesn't matter what race they were. It doesn't matter what their background is. That was somebody's life. That I feel like we're already reaching a point of complacency in these deaths. I don't want a world like that. I want people to care about other people's lives, not in such a depth that they are obsessed with one another, but I don't have to know you to say that your life is important and you deserve to be here. I don't even know how to process all of this. And I know it may not appear it outwardly, but I am pissed as hell. I'm so fucking tired of this.
So, like, if I feared for my safety, would I be able to shoot an ICE officer?
What?
If I feared for the public safety, would I be able to shoot and murder an ICE officer?
I'm pretty sure you're borderline retarded for that train of thought. Am I wrong?
No?
No! No, you can't!
Then why are they allowed to? Don't tell me that they're federal agents in the federal government. Freaking.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
No, they're not. These
Really?
people are not. These people are hired willy-nilly. They had signups.
Yeah, they're hired, just like any other employee. You get hired to do your job. What? Okay, whatever.
Signups. That's it. No hiring process whatsoever. They aren't federal agents.
Yeah, they
No
are.
background check. No nothing. And you're telling me I can't use my Second Amendment right when I'm feeling threatened and the public is feeling threatened by these officers? Like, that's pretty much why the Second Amendment was put into place. A little bit.
Women.
If you don't try to run a federal agent over with your car, which is a deadly weapon, you have nothing to worry about. You should probably take a self-defense class or go get your CPL before talking crap. You can only shoot somebody if you're in fear for your life. You are in fear of great bodily harm or being penetrated. Okay. Not because ICE arrested somebody. Yes, there is definitely a big difference. Because they are enforcing the laws under a social contract, and you are not. Very true. I support lefties escalating to firearms with federal security services. Well, that would definitely pop things off for sure. ICE don't play around. They will take care of business. If you make a dumb decision like that, video it. Let the world see what consequences look like. Okay, yeah. And now, my friends, we have the poster child of suicidal empathy.
I can't. I can't.
Wow.
I came out of my apartment and there's crime scene tape everywhere.
I think I need my mug for all these liberal tears I'm about to partake of.
There's police everywhere. I just posted a video talking about how it was a waste of our fucking tax dollars. And you know what it is? It was an immigration. Somebody running from immigration. They shot and killed him. They shot and killed a man today in Biddeford, Maine, because he was an immigrant who was actually a native man of the land.
Wait, how can you be an immigrant and a native man of the land? Those two things don't go at all. And oh my gosh, what is going on with her eye? Is she possessed or something? My gosh, okay.
There's a dead body across the street from my house, and that is a human being that was murdered because he just wanted freedom and the taste of freedom. Like, what the fuck? I hate this fucking place. I hate it so much.
There's nothing better, my friends, than starting the day off with some good old liberal tears. Tasty.
Well, now that we've heard the unhinged white liberal woman version of events, it's time to hear the truth, because as we know, those are two totally different things. So what actually happened is that ICE agents went to the last known address of an illegal migrant who had a final deportation order, and this other guy who was a Colombian national decided to flee, so they chased after him, and then he decided to drive toward them with his car, and then they opened fire. And you don't have to take my word for it, there's an eyewitness to how this unfolded.
I heard yelling off to so I looked, and I was watching, and the ICE agent was yelling, drew his weapon, and he kept yelling and yelling, warning the person driving, which is when the car was put into drive, and he was trying to hit the ICE officer.
Wow, that sounds oddly familiar. Where have I heard that scenario before?
He fired, I would say, probably 4 shots at him.
Now let's be clear. Yes, it is tragic that this man lost his life.
Yeah.
Never mind that none of these people have ever shed tears like this for Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungare or Logan Federico or Dakara Thompson or
They don't even know those girls' names.
Sheridan Gorman, and the long list of women that have lost their lives because of sanctuary city policies.
And men. It's been men and women. They're, very considerate, non-judgment. They'll kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways.
But you know what would have kept ICE out of the communities and would make sure stuff like this doesn't happen? Is if Democrat mayors and governors had been working with ICE all along and detained the people that needed to be deported so that ICE could just go to the prisons or detention centers and deported people from there.
That's crazy. You mean actually cooperating?
Because Democrat politicians have been refusing to work with ICE for years and intentionally ended the policies that would have put all of these people in one place. So now these agents have to go into these communities to find these people, which is what Democrats wanted because they want this chaos. And white liberal women have been the easiest to manipulate in helping them achieve their goals.
If you're new here, welcome to the Dave Show. And if this feels like your kind of daily therapy, hit subscribe. Come hang out with us. We're here Monday through Friday. All right, let's get on with the rest of the show. Cue up easily manipulated white woman. Roll tape.
Dear white people, it's time to stand the up. ICE killed another person today in Biddeford, Maine.
And why is that?
This time, he was a 26-year-old Colombian father. According to the Maine Immigrants' Rights Coalition, he was legally authorized to work in the United States. He had been issued a social security number, and he was on the way to work with his 3-year-old daughter when he was killed. Witnesses say his 3-year-old daughter, still wearing her bluey pajamas, watched her father die.
And why did they give the fact of her wearing her pajamas? Well, it's to emotionally manipulate you. There's no other reason to bring that up.
How many more? How many more people have to die before more people who look like me decide to speak up? Silence protects these systems that are killing innocent human beings. Are you ever going to care, or are you going to keep living your life in your white privilege bubble until it finally affects you? How many more people have to be shot and killed by ICE before this country finally says that's enough?
I don't know. Maybe until it equals the amount of Americans these illegals have killed over the years. Just saying.
I don't care what excuses they come up with this time to justify the killing. Deadly force is never justified in immigration enforcement. No one should lose their lives by the hands of ICE. Immigration is a civil issue. These ICE operations rely solely on racial profiling. No one should have to fear being targeted and killed because of how they look, the language they speak, or where they are from.
Well, if you're a legal citizen, you have no worries, my dear.
We have allowed our government to build a militarized immigration force that sends armed masked agents into our communities, often operating in unmarked vehicles. We should not accept this as normal. If armed, masked people in unmarked vehicles were following me, I would run too. Most people would run, and don't tell me that you wouldn't. How many more families have to be torn apart before we demand accountability? How many more children have to witness their parents' death? How many more people have to die before we collectively say enough is enough?
And how many families and people have to die at the hands of illegal aliens before we say as a nation, enough is enough? That's what we're trying to do right now.
So ICE just murdered another immigrant, another Latino. Is being told that he's from Colombia, 26 years old. ICE has been given the license to kill, destroy, steal from families in this country. It is truly a license to kill. ICE has ramped it up in broad daylight. It is a license of lynching. It is a license to just kill and preserve white supremacy. This is Project 2025. I don't know what phase it's on now, but we can clearly see that Project 2025 was real, and it's happening in real time. These are the consequences of people, especially white evangelicals, that push to support Trump and this evil administration, led also by Stephen Miller, who is another puppeteer who has strings attached to him, who uses the same immigration blueprint that Adolf Hitler did. So, and it's sad, and it's happening in our country, but we have another murdered person in broad daylight in Maine, from Colombia, 26 years old, young, with family. But this is what's taking place in our country, and these are the things that us as in the Latino community need to learn from and understand. They don't care about you. They never cared about you. Everyone just wanted a handout. That's what happened, okay? And that's the issue we have within ourselves, and we need to fight the good fight. We need to pray and keep up every family member. Still people being held in detention centers or concentration camps, that's what they are. But another person is dead. And ICE has been given rights, legal rights to do this, okay? Because this is what they do. This is what they've been doing. And we need to push through. We need to remove everyone who's associated with Trump, and every level of government needs to be removed.
You know, I think maybe your tinfoil hat is on just a little bit too tight. And the dollar store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, well, he just had to get his camera time.
Donald Trump promised that ICE enforcement in this country would target the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
But instead, billions of taxpayer dollars are being used by ICE to brutalize and kill American citizens and violently target law-abiding immigrant families and communities, including in Maine earlier today.
Well, if you guys wouldn't have whipped up your base to cause problems for ICE and get in their face, we wouldn't have problems like this. You didn't see anything like this when Obama was deporting people, and he was deporting way more than what President Trump is doing. And, you know, no problems, not a word from the left. In fact, CNN had a ride-along with one of the ICE agents in Chicago when they were doing a raid, and they actually got the wrong person. And what did CNN do? They said, golly gee, you got the wrong guy. Oh, well, hey, good job, ICE. You're doing great. No, you don't get that now. ICE is nothing but, you know, the walking evil. They're the Gestapo. They're the, right arm of the Nazi wing of the Republican Party. It's so night and day. It's so ridiculous. It's such faux outrage. It makes me actually sick.
When we are talking about abolishing ICE, we are not just talking about abolishing the agency itself. Instead, we are talking about abolishing our racist system of immigration enforcement that doesn't see Black and brown people as worthy of protection, care, and human dignity.
How much do you want to bet she's going to say white supremacy? I bet you. All
people are worthy of protection and care from state violence. It doesn't matter what their immigration status is. It doesn't matter if they have a job or not. It doesn't matter if they've been involved with the criminal legal system. And expecting that people be one of the good ones in order to be worthy of that protection is just a manifestation of white supremacy.
Nailed it. And of course, people hit the streets protesting in absolutely retarded ways. Take a look.
Men have been murdered by ICE just in the past week alone, the latest of which was Juan Sebastian Guerrero right here in Maine. Both men were just driving on their way to work.
Oh yeah, that's all they were doing. They're just driving. They didn't do anything to invoke an ICE response. And anyway, they're just driving. Because they're family men. And they're just driving to work to support their family.
When ICE pulled them over, they were not the targets of ICE's investigations, and both were executed upon trying to flee.
We cannot continue to have a lawless administration, a lawless president, and a Republican-controlled Congress not do oversight.
I think it's important to show out for the community, to be in support and solidarity for the community.
Sure.
and to recognize that none of us deserve to be gunned down in the streets. We all deserve peace and dignity in our lives. We are all neighbors.
ICE's presence in Maine has not made us safer. And they have contributed to the conditions that lead to the tensions you're seeing here today.
No, the left and the Democratic Party, by getting everybody all whipped up and riled up because ICE is out there and they're doing evil and they're just kidnapping people and taking them to concentration camps. It's that. That's what's causing the problems, not ICE. Like I said, you didn't see any of this during Obama's administration, and his nickname was the Deporter-in-Chief, so he didn't get that because he was good at basketball. And up next is a confirmation that these people are totally brainwashed. They have no idea what's going on, but they've been told that ICE is evil, so therefore, ICE is evil.
I think it's just incredibly disheartening knowing how close it was. I feel like it feels like a fever dream, like just to have it so close to home. It's very surreal. I don't really know how to feel. It's just like such a heavy weight to bear.
I feel like more people should be aware that this could happen to really anyone, within their community. Like we see it, how it has impacted so many people, and how it can be just such a random event. And really without any cause. It's really, heartbreaking to see. It's nice to see, the people in the community that really knew this man, the people that we saw his friends, we saw people, I even met the person, Sebastian, when he was door dashing. He was such a man, like just a working man in this community, and the way that he just got slaughtered is crazy.
I love how this guy supposedly met the victim because he delivered food to him, and he was able to ascertain that this man was just a working man. He was a man. That much we know, but he was also a working man. He was a Maine dad, just like the Maryland dad. They're all dads, and they're just trying to help their family survive and eat and thrive. But they're all here illegally, so that's the problem. All right, my friends, it is again time to witness suicidal empathy.
Real truth. I don't care if you broke immigration law. If it means that your child might grow up without you, I don't want you to be hunted down and harmed. That's the truth. I don't care.
I recognize him immediately. Not from his appearance, but from his voice. Crying for help.
There's not a government agency that should ever be allowed to be judge, jury, and executioner. It's become very hard to distinguish between what we were told were actual criminal organizations and the way ICE appears to operate. And that's me putting niceties on it. It's not what I really want to say, because the way it looks to me, we've got a government agency behaving like a criminal gang across the United States, hurting people with impunity. And from my understanding, immigration law is mostly fundamentally a civil matter. And here's my thought. I would much rather that person get away, even if they're guilty. That person that's suspected of violating immigration law, a civil law, I would rather they get away that day than watch ICE agents use whatever means that they think is necessary, including lethal force, just to make sure that they got their got that day. And maybe then a wife wouldn't be missing her husband, or a child would not be crying for their daddy after the sun goes down. In Houston, they did not even have the right person. And that was just one that they admitted. They didn't have the right person. And then in Maine, you have a young man, and he is stolen, violently stolen, right in front of his young child, who will never be the same. I have no confidence in ICE to make life or death decisions. In fact, I'm going to automatically be distrustful of you now. And again, no government agency should ever be allowed to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Listen, we're not angry enough. We're not loud enough. We're not angry enough. There's over 6,200 children have been detained since this loser came into office. 10 times more than when Biden left.
10 times more than when Biden left. I don't think that's accurate.
And they are shackled. They are taken from their family, their friends, their
Who's shackling kids? Come on.
School. They're not receiving medical care, being assaulted. They're sleeping on the ground. They're malnourished. No schooling.
None. Just no schooling. Because they're just eager to go to school every day.
And we're just acting like everything is okay. And it's not. okay. And you know what's wrong is the fact that people say, well, it's because they're illegal. And I'm going to say this with my whole fucking chest. I don't give a fuck. What a thought. I don't care if they're here illegally. They're fucking children. The party of pro-life who claims they care so much about children should not have these centers running. These kids should be out of these centers expeditiously.
Well, it's interesting that you brought up pro-life and this 6,200 kids that are shackled in detention centers. Well, my question to you as a lefty liberal lady, how long does it take to have 6,200 abortions? Do you know? Well, I didn't know, but I did the math. It's roughly 2 days. It's 53 hours, actually, to be more exact. And that's roughly 48 times more than the 6,200 kids that are supposedly shackled. And you know what? Being shackled is a lot better than being dead. And here's some footage that I found that puts a little bit more context on what happened, and it kind of changes the story quite a bit.
Well, that changes the whole story, doesn't it? Kinda sounds like what happened with Miss Renee Good, putting their car in drive, meanwhile receiving orders from ICE agents to do the exact opposite. Headed towards ICE agents, and we know he was headed towards ICE agents because this was his windshield. None of them struck the side window, at least from information that we have currently. So if these holes are in his front windshield, that means whoever was firing was in the front of the vehicle. Now, why would someone think, let me put my car from park to drive and slam on the gas with the federal ICE agent in front of you? Because although liberals want you to think that federal law enforcement officers are just mass vigilantes or today's mall cops, they're federal agents. You can hate them as much as they want, but they have federal authority to do what they're doing. And if federal ICE agents are yelling things to you, those things are not requests, they are commands. He should not have lost his life that day, but he should also have kept his foot off the gas. My condolences to him and his family.
A 3-year-old daughter was authorized to work in the U.S. and was given a social security number, was not the target of ICE's immigration action. Well, then why did he drive his car away and try to hit an officer? If he wasn't doing anything wrong, how are they supposed to know that? This is emotional manipulation. If you have a 3-year-old daughter, don't you think you have an obligation to her to follow a lawful command by an officer and not put your life in danger by disobeying a law enforcement officer? As a father, I would assume that you have a higher obligation to make sure that you don't end up, leaving your kid without a father. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, just like Renee Good had a responsibility to her children to, stay alive, to watch them grow up. Apparently she didn't care.
Well, I came down here because I was furious at the flash mob that occurred immediately upon a situation where the ICE agents discharged a weapon, apparently killing someone. I've seen video of hearing the shots. I've seen videos of him getting pulled out of the car. And I've heard testimony about he shot through the windshield. And the kid that was going through the intersection said they saw him, he gave orders to him to stop. So I said, the left immediately takes off with a narrative, and they say ICE is bad, and they paint a narrative independent of what the facts are, and not knowing what the facts were at all. And so all these people are down here, and not one of them knows exactly what happened because no footage has come forward at this point. They're tasked with a job, and millions of illegals were flooded in, the borders were open, they have a job to do to get people out of here that need to be out of here, and people should be staying out of people's way when they're doing the job of law enforcement. Alex Preddy, the other one, they jump in front, they end up making a scene, they're a martyr for the situation, and then the left lifts them up as heroes and decries that America's bad, evil, and fascist. Okay, look, it's not wrong to just want to enforce the laws of the United States of America. And they're cops, and they have families, and they have kids, and they don't deserve to be doxxed and harassed and beat up on. And all these people here, they'll all tell you, I was the aggressor, I came in pushing my way around. So therefore, everybody, of course, had to, in reaction, push me back. That's the way the left works.
And here's a liberal lady that was at that march talking about the guy we just saw, and it just blows my mind that she is talking about what she actually is. The cognitive dissonance is just off the chart.
Well, they're so attached to their ignorant beliefs that, of hatred. They've been so taught to hate.
Yeah, you have been taught to hate. You're totally spot on.
Hatred is taught. We're not born to hate. We're taught to hate.
Yep.
And he came through very hateful and very aggressive. And I mean, did he have a gun? It looked like he had a gun on him.
Stop touching me.
So this is the guy.
Touch me again. Get out of my way.
Yeah, that's a gun, lady. Have you never seen a gun before? Well, I kind of think he had a gun or something. Yeah, you've probably never even seen a gun before because you obviously can't identify one when it's clearly on display. He wasn't even trying to hide it. I mean, come on, lady. I don't know. I think he had a gun. Please.
But wait, there's more.
And he had that horn making crazy sounds, trying to drown out the speakers.
Just like every single protest we have seen over the last few years, the lefties with their stupid bullhorns getting in the face of everybody. Yeah, it's horrible when we do it. Jeez Louise.
And, we came here out of care for the community, and he doesn't give a damn. He wants immigrants out. Totally supports ICE.
What a bastard. Wanting to make America safe? Ugh.
And this whole white supremacist attitude has got to stop.
Yeah, right.
This is not a white nation. And
really? What? It's not a white nation? What nation are you living in?
Many people are wanting it to be that way, and that's pretty sad.
This is the headline that I saw first thing when I woke up. Immigrants' right groups. No, you're actually an illegal immigrants' right group.
True.
Why do you conveniently leave out the word illegal every time you talk about them? I won't. That's why I'm making this video. ICE was involved. Yeah, that's the consequences when you try to run them over, which is exactly what the witnesses at the scene said.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to believe. There's talk that he had social security number. What the hell does that matter? Also, don't forget, you're less likely as an illegal immigrant to be unalived by police than you are an American citizen. Isn't the stat you always give about crime when you try to say that illegals are less likely to commit a crime than an American, which is a BS stat?
Yeah, good point.
It's only documented from Texas. The other 49 states have a no-tell, no-ask policy. Tennessee has added, but that stat is still relevant today. Did you guys ever cry for her, for them? Ever?
Nope.
What about them?
Not a single tear. Not a single one.
Any tears for all them? No? What about all the people at MS-13, Barrio 18, and Tren de Aragua unalive every year? You guys will talk about banning that, but you'll never talk about banning illegals.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Come in here legally and I won't have a problem with you. Come in here legally.
I am a legal resident, American citizen, but still sometimes I feel unsafe.
My family, my grandmother came from Italy.
So they were immigrants at one point?
At one point, yes.
But they were legal immigrants. I 100% guarantee that.
How long have you lived here?
33 years.
I do support who's in office. I do. We all voted for someone who is going to be the best for our community.
I don't know why the immigration focusing to catch Hispanic people when most of the people, they work very hard in this country.
That's totally irrelevant. I'm sure they are hard workers. The problem is they're here illegally.
And that's the reason we voted for that man.
I love this country, I love the American people, but this administration and this president changed everything.
So a guy was killed in Texas, a guy was now killed in Maine, and apparently there's a third death that just happened in Florida, and they're totally blaming ICE agents. They're not putting any blame on the idiot that ran into traffic. Duh.
Another encounter with ICE turned deadly today after immigration agents attempted to detain 4 individuals near St. Augustine, Florida. And according to the Florida Highway Patrol, the 4 individuals, instead of talking to the ICE agents, decided to flee on foot, with one of them attempting to cross a busy road and was struck by a tractor trailer and lost their life.
What, are you retarded?
And I know there's a large portion of you that would say, why would you run? Why not comply? Why not let them detain you? Why put yourself in this risk? Because these individuals know what they're going to. They all left their home for a reason, usually because of dangers. They all are at risk of being deported to a country that they're not even from. You have people right now in Equatorial Guinea that were deported from the United States that aren't from there and are being housed in a temporary detention facility with individuals that have Ebola.
What? What? Is that true? That cannot be true. Okay. Okay. Anyways, whew, that was good.
So
okay.
you have to ask yourself and quit being a privileged little bitch in this situation. Would you run from individuals you know that are going to strip you naked, throw you into a cell with maggot-infested food?
You're going to be thrown naked into a cell with maggots? What? Why is this just getting worse by the second? What else is going to happen to these people?
With a lack of facilities, with a lack of showers for potentially months on end.
Yeah, they won't be able to take the maggots off of them if they don't shower. How horrible.
And then deport you to a country you're not from where you would have to sleep next to Ebola patients? Because
where is this Ebola patient stuff coming from? I have not heard anything about that. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm just totally missing it. I don't know.
I would run, and you would too. And if you say you wouldn't, you're a liar.
Get back to me when ICE kills as many illegal invaders as illegal invaders have killed Americans. Maybe then I'll give a crap. Maybe. All right, my friends, on a lighter note, it looks like McDonald's quality control is slipping just a little bit. Take a look.
McDonald's, count your days, boys. Because what the actual fuck is that? You missed a little bit. You got some on the cardboard, too. None on the fucking sandwich at all.
And finally, my friends, did you ever know anybody that just had one job? Just one? And they epically failed at it? Take a look. Well, it was a wild ride today, no pun intended, and that's all I have for you. Thank you for spending time with me. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, slap that bell all over the place so you're always notified. And you know what? If you've got an extra hype, this boy will take it right here. All right, until the next episode, stay safe and have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.